Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Nightwing, issue number 51. This is a glary one. Look at that. Just look at it. If this were a 3D cover, that would be the only way this would be better, man. Just having that a screama stick, just screaming right at you, you know? Somebody trying to, they're actually called a screama sticks. I know what they're called, man. Like, in America, they're called batons. I've used these screama sticks since I was about 9 years old. Okay, so not such a bad book at all. I'm going to get into the brand new cameo first appearance of the new Nightwing. It is not Dick Grayson. I think you're going to like this. All right, first, credit where credit is due, my peeps. Credit where credit is due. So this particular issue is called Night Terrors Part 2, Call Waiting. So Scott Lobdell does the plot. Oh, geez, here we go. Fabian Nicesia. That's what I got, man. That's what I got. Does the additional script. Travis Moore and Gary Brown on art. Hi-Fi and Nick Filardi on colors. And Deron Bennett on letters. I like that it says Nightwing was created by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, but seeing as I like to give full credit where credit is due, go check out Nightwing 10 Things, Nightwing Explained in a Minute on Comic Book University, where you will actually find all of the creators of not just the Nightwing persona, but Dick Grayson in and of himself. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, so this is pretty interesting, man. We've got Detective Sapienza. Jeez, that's a hard one to say. Sapienza. So, Detective Sapienza. This guy, he shows up and he's like, I'm going to be the new Nightwing. Yeah, check it out, man. Look, so I'm going to take this original Nightwing costume, like with the big gold amulet-looking chest piece, and he's got his sidearm. I'm like, are you kidding me? So it's Night Punisher. That's what he's really doing. So anyway, he's going to be the new Nightwing-ish. There's a question mark at the back, whatever. I'm cool with it. I like it. I like the idea of it. But as far as our Nightwing, Richard is now going by Rick instead of Dick. So I want you to think about this. Here's a guy. Birth name is Richard. His Christian name is Richard, but he goes by Dick or he goes by Rick. He never chooses the name Zach. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but I wonder if that kind of relates to something. Okay, so all silliness aside, seriously, for all intents and purposes, this was a pretty cool comic book. It got really damned boring until like the last 4 pages or so, where it finally did exactly what I've been waiting for it to do. You finally get to see Rick, not Zach, kicking some serious butt. Like, he jacks this dude up. He's laying on the ground like he might not get back up. I mean, wow. Did the guy deserve it? Yeah, I'm going to say yes. But, it is what it is, dude. Dude gets jacked royally. And I like that throughout the whole occasion, including the quick little meeting with an old mentor friend of his. No, it's not Batman. He's just like, yeah, I don't want my memories back. But, every so often I find a couple things that I didn't realize. I just learned that I knew how to speak German. That was a pleasant surprise. That's cool. It's funny how almost no matter how bad your memory gets, as long as you don't have some kind of a frontal lobotomy or something to that effect, no matter how contused you get, you'll still remember languages. That's interesting that the logic parts of our brains really, for the most part, are untouched. Sorry. When I studied psychology, that was very interesting to me. So, at the end of this, he gets his what's typically called muscle memory back. Now, in truth, muscles don't have memory. Duh. But when you train to do certain things, like I remember people used to always say to me, "Hey, Bill, how do I get it? What exercise can I do so that I can do more push-ups?" Well, that's actually very simple. You just do push-ups. No, like, what if I do bench presses? Oh, well, then you'll be really good at doing bench pressing. But if you want to do good at push-ups, you should practice doing push-ups. Like, it's duh. But that's the so-called muscle memory. You're developing muscles to do certain things. And if your muscles are developed for picking things up and putting them down, you'll be able to do that. But if they're trained for martial arts, yeah, when you start doing certain moves, that memory is going to come back to you because your body just seems so perfectly adjusted for it because it is. So, yeah, that's interesting. Think about it honestly, it's like riding a bike, all right? You can get rusty, you might get a little wobbly, but once you have that balance is yours, all right? Very hard to take that away from you. So, I dug this. I did like this comic book. I also like the idea that at the end, he's like, I just wanted to make my own slate, but what is stored up inside here, and obviously in Dee's hands, I don't like what was there. That's interesting. And I'm hoping that this comic book explores that concept a little more. That he actually wouldn't like being a fighter. Because, man, he is so quick. This new version of Dick Grayson, Rick Grayson, great disguise name. Awesome. He's very content with getting in, putting himself into situations where he could get into a fight. So why is it that when he realized that he can actually handle himself in a fight, now he's not so happy with that? I really hope that the comic book explores this more. Anyway, in Lobdell we trust. I'm glad that it finally got to him knowing that he can fight. Seriously, I just been waiting for that since last issue where it kind of hinted at it, but this one really did it. All right, guys, that's it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.